Hello students. Now here we have our part 3 probability. In our earlier two videos, yes, we had a discussion about the introduction of probability and we have seen a few examples how to solve the problems. Here the probability is nothing but converting the theoretical one into numerical. That we have seen in 13 examples of our previous two videos. Here we have the third video of probability, which is related total our exercise problems. In this video, I have covered almost all the models and all examples and all exercise problems. So here we have only one exercise in the probability chapter, that is exercise number 15.1. So in exercise 15.1, I am explaining few problems, not total exercise problems. Whatever I left in this exercise, those problems you have to try and you have to finish at home. They are very easy concepts which are not at all so difficult. Easily you can finish it. So which are more important, which the student feels a little bit difficult, those problems I have covered in this video. Now let us see the exercise 5.1, 15.1. The first problem, problem number 6. When here I am explaining sixth problem means 1 to 5 problems you have to finish by sitting at home. Here the sixth problem. A bag contains lemon flavored candies only. Malini takes out one candy without looking into the bag. What is the probability that she takes out an orange flavored candy, a lemon flavored candy? A simple problem. When you observe the question, the bag contains only lemon flavored candies. Bag contains only lemon flavored candies. But the question is given orange flavor. When we have only lemon flavored candies, then how can we get orange flavored candy? Means getting an orange flavored candy is nothing but an impossible event. There is no orange candy when there is no question of orange candies. How can we select it? It was clearly given in the question, bag contains only lemon flavored candies. Then how can we select orange flavored candies? So which is not at all possible, means it is an impossible event. That you need to understand by reading the question. Now the second question, a lemon flavored candy. The total bag contains all lemon flavored. Then selecting a lemon flavored means how many lemon flavored candies are there? All are nothing but favorable outcomes. So the question how to solve it. Let us see the solution. Probability of an orange flavored candy. As I told you, the bag contains only lemon flavor. So there is no question of selecting an orange flavor, which is an impossible event. So the answer gets for us 0. Now similarly, probability of a lemon flavored candy. How many lemon flavored are saved? All are nothing but favorable outcomes. Favorable outcomes and possible outcomes both are same. So that here the answer will get for us 1, which is called sure event. Where the probability gets 0 is called an impossible event. Where the probability gets as 1, which is called sure event. This is about problem number 6 from exercise 15.1. Let us see the next problem, that is problem number 7. It is given that in a group of 3 students, the probability of 2 students not having the same birthday is 0.992. What is the probability that the 2 students have the same birthday? So very clear, we have the question. So in a group there are total how many students are there? 3 students are there. Out of 3 students, 2 students are having birthday on different dates is nothing but 0.992. Now I need to find what is the probability those 2 students to get the birthday on same day. The question is given which is not 0.992. We have to find which is possible. Not possible, possible. Not possible is given. We need to find possible. Means probability of E is given. We need to find probability of E complement. Means E dash. Very simple question. When for not possible we have 0.992. For possible is the rest of the thing. What is the rest of the thing? We need to find. Here the solution. Probability of 2 students not having the same birthday is 0.992, which is given, that we assume as probability of an event 0.992. Next, probability of 2 students having the same birthday is nothing but probability of E naught. Probability of E naught, the formula we know, 1 minus probability of E, that is nothing but 1 minus 0.992, that is nothing but 0.008. So not having the same birthday is 0.992, then having the same birthday is 0.008. The remaining is nothing but having the birthday on same day. This is about problem number 7. So here we have question number 10. Very interesting problem. A piggy bank contains 150 paise coins, 51 rupee coins, 22 rupee coins, and 10 5 rupee coins. So bag contains 4 different types of coins. If it is equally likely that, here equally likely means every coin has equal chances. So we have more 100 rupees coins. So we may think that more probability or more chances are having for 150 paise coins. That is not the meaning. Even if we have more number of 50 paise coins, if we have less number of 5 rupee coins, whatever it may be, but for getting a coin we have equal possibilities. That is nothing but equally likely. Now one of the coins will fall out when the bank is turned upside down. What is the probability that the coin will be a 50 paise coin, will not be a 5 rupee coin? Let us see the solution. We have number of 50 paise coins are 100, which is given in the question. 150 paise coins and 50 5 rupee coins. 20 rupees, 22 rupee coins we have, and 5 rupee coins are 10. I have total 150 paise coins, 51 rupee coins, 22 rupee coins, and 10 5 rupee coins. Total how many coins we are having here? So total number of coins are nothing but 180. This is possible outcomes. I have total 180 possible outcomes. Now the question, what is the probability of getting a 50 paise coin? So getting 50 paise coin, so how many 50 paise coins are there? 100. So 100 is nothing but favorable. So the first question, probability of getting a 50 paise coin is equal to, what we have, 100 by 180, by simplifying the 5 by 9. So getting a 50 paise coin, the probability is nothing but 5 by 9. Now probability of not getting a 5 rupee coin. Not getting a 5 rupee coin means excluding 5 rupees you may get any one. Excluding, how many 5 rupee coins are there? 10. So from the total 180 coins, if you remove the 10, how many are there? 170. So 170 favorable outcomes we have. So the probability is nothing but 170 by 180, which is nothing but 17 by 18. This is about a problem number 10. Now problem number 11. Gopi buys a fish from a shop for his aquarium. The shopkeeper takes out one fish at random from a tank containing 5 male fish and 8 female fish. What is the probability that the fish taken out is a male fish? So the question is very clear for us. We have total 8 male fish and 5 male and 8 female. Total 13 fishes are there. So total number of possible outcomes are 13. Out of these 13 fishes, we need to find what is the probability that taken out is a male fish. So here male fish, how many are there? 5. So our favorable outcomes are 5. Very simple problem. Solution: number of male fish are 5, number of female fish 8, total number of fishes are 13. Now probability of fish taken out is a male fish is nothing but the formula favorable outcomes by possible outcomes, that is nothing but 5 by 13. Direct question and simple answer. This is about problem number 11. For this you have a picture in your textbook also. Just observe the picture. Without picture also we can understand very easily this problem. Now here we have one more interesting problem, that is problem number 12. A game of chance consists of spinning an arrow which comes to rest pointing at one of the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. See figure 15.5. So we have a picture also here. This is about our picture. So here we have a spinning board. When we spin it, this arrow will place any one of the number, either 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Any one of the number the arrow can display. Here in diagram, now the arrow is displaying 1. It is pointing the number 1. Like that, once again if you spin it, the arrow may be represent 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 or 7 or 8. Any number we can't imagine, means we can't guess it. And these are equally likely outcome. Getting a number is all, we have equal chances. Now what is the probability that it will point at 8, an odd number, a number greater than 2, a number less than 9. So total number of possible outcomes. Total how many are there? We have 8 possible outcomes, because I have 8 numbers on a spin board, so that I have 8 possible outcomes. Now what is the probability that it will point at 8? How many 8s are there? Only 1. Means the favorable outcome, we have only one favorable outcome. So the probability of that is, probability formula is favorable outcomes by possible outcomes. Now the first question, probability of it will point at 8 is nothing but 1 by 8. Now the second question, we have an odd number. How many odd numbers we have here? 1 is an odd number, 3 is an odd number, 5 is an odd number, and 7 is an odd number. So 1, 2, 3, 4 odd numbers are there. So favorable outcomes are nothing but 4. Now the probability will point at an odd number is 4 by 8, which gives us 1 by 2. And the third question, number greater than 2. Greater than 2, how many numbers we have? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All these are greater than 2, means 6 favorable outcomes. The answer you have 6 by 8, that is nothing but 3 by 4. And the last question, number less than 9. Number less than 9. What are the numbers we have on a spin board? 1 to 8. 1 to 8 means all these are less than 9. So I have 8 favorable outcomes. So my answer, probability of will point at number less than 9 is 9 by 9, 8 by 8, which is equal to problem number 13. What is the problem number 13? We have a dice is thrown once. Find the probability of getting a prime number, a number lying between 2 and 6, an odd number. So here our experiment is nothing but throwing a die. How many times? Only one time. As we know that when we throw a die for one time, how many possible outcomes we have? We have total 6 possible outcomes. What are they? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In that, how many prime numbers are there? How many numbers are lying between 2 and 6, and how many odd numbers are there? That is our concept. Let us see how to solve this problem. What is our experiment? Throwing a die. How many favorable outcomes we have? Possible outcomes. You may get the possible outcomes are 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 or 6. When we observe out of all possible outcomes, how many prime numbers you have? What are the prime numbers we have? 2 is a prime number, 3 is a prime number, and 5 is a prime number. So I have total 3 prime numbers. And a number lying between 2 and 6. What are the numbers we have lying between 2 and 6? 3, 4, 5. And an odd number again. What are the odd numbers we have? 1. I have the odd numbers here. 1 is an odd number. Again 3 is an odd number. And 5 is an odd number. I have total 3 odd numbers. So first we have to observe that. Let us see the solution. Favorable outcomes to get a prime number are 2, 3 and 5. So probability of getting a prime number is 3 by 6, that is equal to 1 by 2. Now favorable outcomes to get a number lying between 2 and 6 are 3, 4, 5. So probability of getting a number lying between 2 and 6 are nothing but again 3 by 6, which is equal to 1 by 2. Now probability of getting an odd number. What are the odd numbers we have? As I told you, 1, 3, 5, 3. So 3 by 6 is equal to 1 by 2. This is about a problem number 13, which is very simple and easy problem. Now here comes an interesting problem, that is problem number 14. One card is drawn from a well shuffled deck of 52 cards. Find the probability of getting a king of red color, a face card, a red face card, the jack of hearts, spade, the queen of diamonds. So in our example problems, I have given very clear picture about this set of cards. How many cards will be in that, how many red color, how many black color, how many face cards are there, everything I have given a clear idea for you. Just once recall all that concept. So by knowing that concept, we can solve this problem very easily. As we know that in a deck of cards, we have total 52 number of cards. That is very clear for us. In that, getting a king of red, getting a face card, a red face card, the jack of hearts, spade, queen of diamonds. How to solve it? See that. Total number of cards. How many cards we have? 52. Probability of getting a king of red color. As I told you, red color king. In red color, we have two symbols. One is heart symbol, another one is diamond. In heart symbol, we have one king card. In diamond also, we have one king card. So total we have two king cards. So the probability we have 2 by 52. That is nothing but 1 by 26. Now the second question, probability of a face card. How many face cards we have? In black color we have 6 face cards. Again in red color we have 6 face cards. So total we have 12 face cards. So the probability we get here 12 by 52, which gives us 3 by 13. Now probability of a red face card. We have 6 red face cards. So the probability we get 6 by 52, which is 3 by 26. The jack of hearts. So in a heart symbol, we have only one jack, which is called face card. Only one J, jack in the sense J letter. So with J letter, we have only one card in heart symbol. So the probability we get is 1 by 52. Now, probability of a spade. Spade is nothing but black color. So with spade symbol, we have total 13 cards. So the probability we get for us 13 by 52, that is nothing but 1 by 4. And last but not least, probability of the queen of diamonds. Queen of diamond, here diamond symbol, we need queen card. So with the diamond symbol, we have only one queen card, that is nothing but 1 by 52. The probability we get 1 by 52. To understand this concept, definitely you need to go through that that example concept, I have given very clear picture about the pack of cards. Once observe that information, then try to understand this problem, which is very important and very easy concept. This is about problem number 4. And here we have another problem related to the again set of pack of cards. 5 cards. Here they are talking about not total 52 cards. They are talking about only 5 cards. So I have here the 10, Jock, Queen, King and Ace. They have given some cards here. What are they, Nana? So I have 5 cards. One is 10, Jock, Queen, King and Ace are well shuffled with their face downwards. One card is then picked up at random. What is the probability that the card is the queen? How many queen cards are there? Out of 5, I have only one queen card. So simple, the probability we get 1 by 5. Now we have selected one queen card. If the queen is drawn and put aside, that queen card we are keeping aside. Now keeping the queen card aside, then how many cards are there? Only 4 cards are there. Now what are the 4 cards? 10, Jock, King and Ace. Queen is out. Only 4 cards are left over. What is the probability that the second card is picked is an ace? Now out of 4, how many ace cards we have? Only 1. So the answer is 1 by 4. And another we have probability is getting a queen. Out of 5 we have only one queen. Already we have drawn. Now there is no question of queen card. Again they are asking what is the probability of queen card means 0. So let us see the solution. So given the total number of cards, what are the cards we have? 10, Jock, Queen, King and an Ace of Diamond. These are the 5 cards I have. First what we are doing? Selecting a queen card. So the answer we have 1 by 5. So here I have total number of cards are 5. In that favorable outcome is only one queen I have. So 1 by 5. Now the second question. Total number of cards. Now in the second case, how many cards are there? 4. Why? Whatever the queen card we have chosen, that we have kept aside. Now I have only 10, Jock, King and Ace of Diamond. Now what is probability of an ace? Now getting probability of an ace card is nothing but 1 by 4. Because now I have total 4 cards. Out of I have only one ace card. So that 1 by 4. Now getting probability of a queen. Do you find any queen card in this? No. Means 0. The answer we get 0, which is an impossible event. This is about problem number 15. Now problem number 17, which is an important problem and very interesting problem. A lot of 20 bulbs contains 4 defective ones. Total how many bulbs we have? 20. In that how many defective ones we have? 4. Means how many are good condition? 16. That we need to understand. One bulb is drawn at random from the lot. What is the probability that this bulb is defective one? When we choose one bulb randomly out of 20, we have to get it defective. Means how many defective are there? 4. I should get any one bulb from these 4. Next, suppose the bulb drawn in first slot. In first case, whatever the bulb we have drawn is not defective. Not defective means we have chosen a good one. How many good ones are there? 6 bulbs. So out of 16 we are choosing 1. And is not replaced. This condition is very important. So whatever the good one we have chosen, again we are not replacing in that lot. We have kept aside. Now removing one bulb. Now finally how many bulbs are there? 19 bulbs are there. Now one bulb is drawn at random from the rest. What is the probability that this bulb is not defective? Not defective means good one. See the solution. I have total number of bulbs are 20, number of defective bulbs are 4, number of bulbs are in good condition. 20 minus 4 is 16. Now probability of taking a defective bulb, because they ask what? Bulb is defective. So here when we choose a defective one, what is the probability we have? The formula, favorable outcomes by possible outcomes, 4 by 20, because as we know that I have 4 defective bulbs and I have total bulbs of 20. So 4 by 20 is 1 by 5. This is nothing but about defective ones, the first question. Now the second, now coming to the second one. So what is the second question? According to the problem in case 1, bulb drawn one was not defective and bulb kept aside. So here in first one, suppose if we have not chosen a defective one, means we have chosen a good one. That bulb we have kept aside. Initially how many good bulbs are there? 16. And we have chosen one and we have kept aside. Then how many are pending? 15. So I have 15 good bulbs are there. So probability of taking a not defective bulb is nothing but favorable outcomes by possible outcomes, which is nothing but 15 by 19. So already we have kept one bulb aside. Total number of bulbs are 19. In that the good bulbs are 15. This is about the bulbs problem, which is important one as examination point of. Here we comes problem number 80. A box contains 19 discs which are numbered from 1 to 90. If one disc is drawn at random from the box, find the probability that it bears a 2-digit number, a perfect square number, a number divisible by 5. So total I have how many natural numbers? 1 to 90. In that 1 to 90 natural number, few are divisible by 5 and few are perfect squares and few are 2-digit numbers. They are asking the question. Let us see how to solve the problem. So total number of discs are in the box are 90. I have total how many are there? 90 are there. Out of 90, I want 2-digit numbers. What are the 2-digit numbers we have? 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 and so on up to 90. These are the possible 2-digit numbers. How many are there? 81 2-digit numbers are there. So the favorable outcomes to get a 2-digit number is 81. Its probability is 81 by 90. That is nothing but 9 by 10. Now a perfect square number. Between 1 to 90, how many perfect square numbers are there? These are the perfect square. 1 square, 2 square, 3 square, 4 square, 5 square, 6 square, 7 square, 8 square and 9 square. And total I have 9 perfect square number. So its probability is 9 by 90, which gives us 1 by 10. Next, a number divisible by 5. So what are the numbers are divisible by 5? 5 ones are, 5 twos are, 5 threes are, like that up to 90. How many are there? 18. So the probability we have 18 by 90, which gives us 1 by 5. This is about probability of getting 2-digit number, probability of getting a perfect square number, probability of getting a divisible of 5. So problem number 18 is, this is the solution. Here comes problem number 23. A game consists of tossing a 1 rupee coin 3 times. So here what we are doing? Tossing a coin 3 times and noting its outcome each time. Hanif wins if all the tosses give the same result. Gives the same result means maybe you get 3 heads or 3 tails, and losses otherwise. Calculate the probability that Hanif will lose the game. Here the experiment what we are doing, tossing a 1 rupee coin 3 times. So when we toss a 1 rupee coin 3 times, how many possible outcomes we get? That we need to find first. Let us see how many possible outcomes we have. What is our experiment? Tossing a coin 3 times. Now what are the possible outcomes we have? Here we have a table. In this, first time when you toss, you have the outcome head. Second time if you toss, you have the outcome head. Third time you have toss, again you have the outcome head. Means I have head, head, head. This is one possible outcome. Like that, you have total 8 outcomes, means 2 cube. When we toss a coin, how many possible outcomes will come? 2, either head or tail. 3 times you are tossing, so 2 cube is the formula. 2 cube is nothing but 8 outcomes. These are the possible outcomes. We have total 8 possible outcomes. What are they? Head, 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 tail, head, tail, head, head, tail, 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 head, head, tail, head, tail, 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 head, and tail, tail, tail. Now the question, if you see, honey wins if all the tosses give the same result, means 3 heads or 3 tails. So 3 heads, yes, here I have 3 heads, 3 tails, again here I have 3 tails. So I have only 2 favorable outcomes. So when I get 3 heads, definitely honey wins the game. When I get 3 tails, again honey wins the game. So favorable outcomes to win the game is nothing but probability of an event E. We have probability of an event E is nothing but what? 2 by 8, that is nothing but 1 by 4. Probability of that honey will lose the game. So for winning we have 1 by 4 chances. Then for losing the game, from the total probability 1, when we subtract the winning probability, automatically you get the losing probability, that is nothing but 3 by 4. So when we toss a coin 3 times, you have total 8 number of possible outcomes. These are the 8 possible outcomes. This is about problem number 20. Here we have problem number 24. A die is thrown twice. What is the probability that 5 will not come up either time? 5 will come up at least once. Hint: throwing a die twice and throwing a 2 dice simultaneously are treated as the same experiment. It is very important point. At a time when you throw 2 dice, there is no difference. So the same die, if you throw one time and again throw second time also, same result. Here, throwing a die, we have seen example problem. When we throw 2 dice, how many possible outcomes will come? That we have seen. Now by using that same information, we are going to have this question number 24. Our experiment is throwing a die twice. So total number of favorable outcomes are 36. 6 square. 6 6 are 36. These are the possible outcomes. In this, the first question, 5 will not come up either time. Means when I throw the first time, I should not get 5. Even if I throw second time also, I should not get 5. So 5 will not come up either time. And the second, 5 will come up at least once. Two different questions. Solution. Here we have a solution. Number of favorable outcomes for 5 will not come up either time. Means these are the possible outcomes. Means the favorable outcomes. 1 comma 1, there is no 5. 1 comma 2, 1 comma 3, 1 comma 4, 1 comma 6. Similarly 2 comma 1, 2 comma 2, 2 comma 3, 2 comma 4, 2 comma 6. 3 comma 1, 3 comma 2, 3 comma 3, 3 comma 4 and 3 comma 6. Like that, I have total 25 favorable outcomes where 5 will not come up either time. I am not getting 5. If you observe all favorable outcomes, you are not finding 5 on any way. Now the probability. So here we have the probability 5 will not come up either time is nothing but 25 by 36. Now the opposite, at least one time you should get 5. At least means one or more. So other than these 25, remaining 11 are our favorable outcomes. Means not E. What we have? 1 comma 5, 2 comma 5, 3 comma 5, 4 comma 5, 5 comma 1, 5 comma 2, 5 comma 3, 5 comma 4, 5 comma 5, 5 comma 6 and 6 comma 5. Total how many favorable outcomes are there? 11. Then what is our probability? 11 by 36. So 5 will not come either side is 25 by 36. 5 will come up at least once means 11 by 36. This is about problem number 24. So with this problem number 24, almost all the exercise problems are covered. A few problems are left for your homework. So whatever the problems we did not discuss through these video classes, means you have to try it at home by your own. If you have any doubts, yes, You can call me at any time. You can get it, clarify your individual doubts. Hari Om.